agenda is the temporary easement for the New York State Department of Transportation, and this is for the Route 240 Boston Colden Road to Ellicott Road project. And if you look, board, if you look on your map, the very last page, the northeast corner, there's a little corner there. That is the area that the Department of Transportation wants an easement on, and it's for temporary storage during their work on this project. The right across Bridge Street, where the Aurora Town Library is, there's going to be another easement that's going to be a different agreement. And that one will be a permanent easement for drainage accessibility. And that one right now is currently being appraised, and the town will actually get paid for that easement. But tonight we're just dealing with this this temporary easement. Does everyone know where that's at? Understand it? Yep. We all good with it? Yep. Okay. That'll be on the agenda. And next we have the local law intro 4, which is the volunteer firefighter ambulance exemption. And this is a notice of public hearing. And I will read that. Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the town board of the town of Aurora on the 25th day of September 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Aurora Municipal Center, 575 Oakwood Avenue, East Aurora, New York, at which hearing parties and interested citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard on the adoption of local law of the town of Aurora for the year 2023 to amend Chapter 101 of the codes of the town of Aurora by adding Article 7. 12. Volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers real property exemption. All interested parties are entitled to be heard upon that said proposed local law at such public hearing. Copies of this said proposed local law are available for review at the offices of the town clerk during normal business hours or on the town website. And this is an exemption of 10%, up to 10% of their assessed value. Any questions on that? Good to vote on the public hearing. Okay. Next is a local law intro 5, and this is on the tax cap. This board has been meeting throughout the last month on the budget, and it has every intention to stay under the tax cap. But this local law is kind of like an insurance policy in case of a mathematical error or a mistake or something comes up that is unforeseen, that allows us to go over the tax cap. So we just adopt this again for insurance in case we do have to go over, but our total intention is not to. And this is also a public hearing for that same night. Everyone understand? We talked about this at the last budget. Good. Yep. Okay.
And just if I could add, Jim, the village does this every year, even though they don't go over the tax cap. It's, as you said, it's just an insurance policy.
Right. It's very easy to make a mistake sometimes, and you just don't want to be caught in that position. So better be safe than sorry. All right, number 4, the area county agreement for the comprehensive plan and the funding for that. And thanks to the efforts of the board and especially Dan Castle from the county on getting us this grant of $54,000 with a $6,000 match from the town to go ahead and study and the comprehensive plan for the town going forward. So this is the agreement, and I've already had the town attorney look at it. He's given her blessing. Are there any questions on it? If not, we're gonna put that on the agenda to authorize the supervisor to sign. Number 5, Blakely Road speed study. And I think the Sullivans are here. Yeah. Would you like to get up and talk on this at all or not? You have to, I just need you to come up to the mic if you're gonna talk.
Or we can give you the mic if you want. It's just that the sound system.
You don't have to speak if you don't want
have to
to.
speak. I thought maybe that's why you
No,
came.
that's fine too.
Yeah.
If you'd like to say anything about the reason for this, that's fine. Just step up to the mic. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
I will. I'll be brave.
Please give us your name and address.
Deborah Sullivan, 2563 Blakely Road.
Can you speak right into that mic, Debbie?
Pull down.
There you go. Perfect.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
Deborah Sullivan, 2563 Blakely Road, South Wales, New York, although we are in the town of Aurora. 14139.
And we have a letter.
Yes.
Stating your concerns with the traffic. This is east of Olean Road going up
Yes.
the hill. And you're requesting a TE9 traffic study for that, speed study for that, correct?
Mhm.
Do you have any other comments that you want to say about it or?
Well, you read my letter and I think I have a little PTSD from some of the accidents that have happened. Especially the one last year, August, on my birthday. When the guy landed in our yard in his pickup truck on its side. And it was terrifying. And he was drunk, which probably let him survive. Then the other night, I don't know when it was, a couple weeks ago, we've got this red pickup truck that comes by a lot. And I know people on Ryder Road have talked about him too, because I have Sherpa helping me with landscaping. And he said, this guy wakes him up every morning at 5 o'clock in his big red truck. Anyway, he came up the hill and the car in front of him was not going fast enough, apparently. And he passed right on the curve. If anybody had been coming out, it would have been awful. And it scares me. Somebody's going to get killed.
Mhm.
And I don't want it to be me or my husband or my dog or Tim or Cindy or the Sedgwicks.
Anyway,
No,
Is that
no one
enough?
wants to see anyone get hurt.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yes.
absolutely. You just need to come to the mic if you're done and give us your name and address.
Lucinda Hickey at 2575 Blakely Road, and I live directly next to Debbie and Pat. And my husband's family has owned that property. We own it now, but they have had it since 1946. My husband grew up pushing cars out of ditches because it's been an ongoing problem as long as they have been there. Originally, Blakely Road went straight down to Olean Road, and the horses could do that with the milk, but the cars couldn't. So they put that curve in. And it's been a problem ever since they put it in. And as Debbie said, many of the people who have problems are drunk. But it's also just people who don't believe that that curve is there. And it's people going both directions. My husband has had to put in a parabolic mirror so he could see. At night you can see the headlights coming, but you can't see around the corner, and it's extremely dangerous. Thank you.
Yeah, that is a scary little jog there. I've been
Yes.
on it. Yeah.
It's been a problem for a long time.
Sure. Okay.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking. Patrick Sullivan, 2563 Blakely Road, South Wales. We live in the town of Aurora. I don't know what you folks can do. I know it's probably very limited. I'm just asking, do what you can. Somebody's going to die. We're going to wind up with a white cross and flowers in our front yard for a life that possibly could have been saved if we just did something. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak on this same?
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
I'm Tim Francis. I live at 2584 Blakely, right across the street from Debbie. I've got the property goes all the way from the railroad tracks up over the crest.
Could you speak into the mic just a little bit? Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. I have the property that extends all the way from the railroad tracks on the north side
Oh.
of Blakely up over the crest of the hill. And I've been living there for 40 years. And believe me, it's an interesting place. And lately it's getting even more interesting. The right of way of the road is supposed to be some distance from the center line of the road. But in between the Sullivan's house and my house, you see the Sullivan's property, what used to be part of my farm, but back in the 30s, they put a dog leg to the north and all those bends that supposedly flatten that the grade out a little bit, but doesn't. You know, it all it does is just add a little bit more distance in between steep grades. But they essentially put that right of way in between my barn and her front porch. And my gas well is halfway in between there. Right now, my gas well is within a few feet of the edge of the pavement. And I heat my house with that. But the edge of the pavement is actually several feet beyond the road right away and into my front yard. And yet it's not enough to be able to flatten that curve out enough for the speed limit that we have posted there. If you say it's 45 miles an hour, every kid on the block is going to try to go 45 miles an hour, even if it says we recommend you only go 20 miles an hour. It's a very important highway. I mean, that's Centerline Road. How many folks here have ever heard of Osborne? Osborne, New York. That's what Blakely Corners was called back when the Young Land purchase happened. And the main road between Geneseo and all of the wilderness villages along the Lake Erie front went right down that road. And it was a stagecoach run, and Osborne was the first post office and the first English trading post. So, I mean, this road is going to be always a high-speed road. There's no slowing it down, but you can't have these turns. They're going to have to straighten the road back out again. And I don't know what that's going to do to the community, but it's going to be severe. And, you know, I would suspect that we'd only consider the hazards of the truck traffic that's on that road. You know, the hazardous spills that are likely to occur into the ravines that are just on the other side of a guardrail. And that waste would go right into Casanova Creek and right down through all the villages, all the way to Lake Erie. And, you know, if the road is straight, I mean, you wouldn't have that hazard, except for at the bottom of the hill. In any event, I mean, I think it's a real problem. It's always been a problem. They've called it the East Hill ever since, ever since they talked about Osborne. So anyways, that's it's just a little bit of it, but there's a lot more. And thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just so everyone knows, it is a county road. And the only thing that the town can do is we can ask for what they call a TE9 speed traffic study. And that goes to the Department of Transportation. And they'll come out and they'll study it and give us the report. We also can go to the county and say, hey, you know, maybe another thing is some more signage or blinking lights or something that we got a steep hill coming up. You got to slow down. I don't know what else you could do there, because it's a lot of not paying attention when you're driving and all of a sudden it's there. But does anybody else need to speak on this, or?
How about rumble strips? or whatever they call.
That would be up to the
And then
county.
we did
Yep,
something on
Yep.
77.
Yeah.
Because of the
Yeah.
patch.
yep. All good ideas.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Martha King Sedgwick, 2751 Blakely Road. I'm probably about 5 houses up from the Sullivans, the Laidman's house. I'm very concerned right now. When I come home around 5:30-ish, 5:45, there's often somebody tailgating me. And about a month ago, there was a pickup truck that actually passed me.
You're coming up from Olean Road?
Yes,
They passed you on the hill.
he passed me. Past the curve and up the straightaway, and there's another curve, and on that curve, he passed me. So I'm very worried. In fact, I think that when that accident happened, I had not been working that week. I think back in May, is that when that happened? Her accident. Yeah, the most recent one. Yeah, that might have been me coming up that road at that time. I'm really worried that somebody is going to be killed. I hope it's not me. And we've given fair warning. My husband has given emails, I think, to you. I'm requesting police surveillance periodically. I often see, when I go the back roads to work, I see a police car on Mill Road. We've been told that we're low staff, whatever. There's a police car there. I think some police presence, 5:30 to 6 o'clock might be very helpful. Because I know when I see a police car, I pay attention and I'm careful around that area. So I'm requesting that as well. I hope that nobody gets killed. I'm afraid that somebody is.
Thank you.
See police cars down on Olean Road all the time. I mean, I know where they are. When I see them, I always slow down, not that I'm speeding. But if one could just sit in my driveway for 10 minutes.
If you're gonna speak long, Debbie, please come up to the mic again.
Sorry.
The meetings are being
Because,
recorded.
yes,
Oh,
yeah, not for us.
If a police car could just sit in my driveway for 10 minutes at different times of the day, like they do along Olean Road, he would see, or she would see what we're talking about. I think that's all.
Okay.
I can't
Thank
do
you.
this again.
I mean, I think this is similar to the situation we faced before, right? It's a combination of different things that we can do and that the police can do and that the county can look into. Sorry to cut you off.
How are you?
Okay, hi, my name is Jennifer Francis. This is Eleanor Francis. We live at 2610 Blakely Road. So I'm right next to my father-in-law, Tim, right by Debbie and everybody else. So having my little one and now hearing all this traffic and all these accidents are happening and having my little one, we have another one on the way, it's definitely caused a lot of more concern for me, especially for her to be even more aware on how fast the road is going and people are driving up and down the road. So they're all giving great suggestions. So maybe also to like lowering the speed. I know when I go up the hill, I never go more than 25, 20 even. Like I go really slow. You have to go slow, especially with the new gravel they added. So when I see and hear people, like you can hear them screeching around the turn. It's like, it's not need for speed. They don't need to go that fast. And then poor Debbie's house, like every time I'm like, I hope a car doesn't go into her house. And I'm sure she fears that all the time. So yeah, maybe even lowering the speed might help too, like I said, because my little ones, and I know people up the road have kids as well. So it's definitely a huge fear factor. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're certainly going to send these comments to the DOT. Again, they have the ultimate say on what they do, but we will definitely give you all the concerns. Is there anybody else that wants to speak on this?
I did notice that they.
Got to give us your name again. I'm just kidding.
The county did go by and put marks on the road. I think they're gonna put sign or lines. And that's because of you, I think, because you read my.
We're going to be talking to the county on some other issues too. And that'll be separate than DOT study,
Okay,
but we'll see if they can put something up there or do something for you.
thank you.
Again, it's
I
their
know.
road and it's DOT that really controls all that. All we can do is be the sounding board and relay all these concerns to them.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Sir? More.
Hi, my name's Don Hickey. I grew up in that on 2575 Blakely Road. It's right at the apex of this curve. This summer I put a convex mirror, this big around my property near a telephone pole. It's almost suicidal when you come down the hill to turn left into my property across the upcoming road. And that may have saved my life once already, but the point is that the speed limit is too fast there. And if you look, they gravelled the road this summer. If you look on the outside or the outside of the curve, right where the apex is, Tim Ferriss's house is on the left going up. Sullivan's is behind me on the right. When they gravel that road, you can look and see a groove cut on the off the road by people who can't manage to stay on the road. They're going too damn fast. When I was a boy, that we didn't see this because most of the inhabitants going up Blakely Road were farmers. They knew that if they came over a blind hill, they might run into the back of a hay wagon. These people don't know and they don't care. They're going too damn fast, whether they're drunk or not. And it takes, I've timed them. If you can see in the mirror, you can see a car coming. It's just a few seconds from the time they pass Sullivan's until they're right in front of my property. And I think shortly after the accident at the Sullivans, and by the way, when I was a kid, every summer we'd be watching television and bang, whoop, 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 down over the hill. The drunks running out of the car, trying to throw the bottles out before the cops get there. But anyway, I walk my dog there all the time. And when right after the accident, I noticed that they put a sign on the road under some tree leaves right by Francis's daughter-in-law's house that had I guess it was sunlight activated to get the electricity in there, but it would tell you what your speed was. And I thought, well, that's not a bad idea. The only problem is you should have put it somewhere you can see it better. But that was a small sign. It was no big deal. And they took it down, I think. I can't, it's not there. But that's not a bad idea because it was flashing at you. You're going too damn fast. I mean, it would say the speed limit is 40 and it's flash, flash, flash because you're not going 40. Mm-hmm. And something like that would, I think, be a decent to get that back there, but put it in a better place. And it's right, it's where this young lady was talking. That's a blind hill right on front, right before her property. They don't have a chance if they're near the road. Somebody comes over that hill, they're right. They can't see down that road fast until they're over the top of that hill. Everything's blind on that hill. If you go farther down into the woods, every turn is blind. So I think that, and you know, putting speed bumps and stuff like that, it probably works great until the first snowplow hits them. So I don't think it'd be great if you could do that, but I don't think it's feasible with having to plow the snow like that. But I think a couple of those signs coming up and changing the speed limit, it's got to be lower. At least that way you can put them in jail longer after they kill somebody.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I have another thing to say.
Sure.
Martha King Sedgwick. I think there were 3 incidents last year. There was the bad accident at the Sullivans. Within 2 or 3 months, there was an accident in front of our house. Luckily, there was a guardrail. I was coming home from work and I saw this car, this blue sedan, which is similar to my husband's, up on the guardrail. There was a young lady who was either going too fast. I don't know what her problem was, but she had to have the car towed off of the guardrail that is in the entrance of our driveway. The third thing that happened was early in the morning, there was a car in front of our garage that was blinking. Somebody had left the car and there were the right side of the car, the 2 tires were flat. I think they were flat because of the road construction. The road construction on this road, the pavement is chipping away, it's sharp. And I think they got flat tires from going off the road. And around the curve beyond the Sullivans going downhill, the road is not constructed properly either, because in the wintertime, there's a spring that comes up and it freezes over and it's all ice. So somebody speeding, coming down that road is gonna go right over the ravine. It doesn't know the road. So I'm very concerned about that too.
Okay.
Somebody is gonna get killed.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Bill Ritter, 1120 Blakely Road. I am not on that part of Blakely Road, but I travel Blakely Road every single day on my way to Emery Park. But I've driven that segment of Blakely Road quite a bit because my daughter's getting married at Notting Hill next summer. So I'm quite familiar with driving up there. That is the main thoroughfare to get up to Notting Hill. So you have weddings occurring at night, late at night, and people tend to have a few too many drinks. So I am totally afraid we are having bus companies transport our guests to the wedding exactly for that reason. But it is a dangerous road during the day and even more dangerous at night, and compound that with drinking. And you have a situation that's a serious matter that's waiting to happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Okay, we have this on the agenda. We're going to vote to do a TE9 traffic study. We'll also talk to the county about looking at what they can do to make that road safer. Anything else from the board on this?
I thank you to everybody for coming, and there's a lot of roads around, and it does, I mean, we're trying to see all the issues, but we can't see everything. And so coming and telling us about it is important to take that first step. So we'll just continue to work with you and continue to keep that communication open. You can email all of us with townboard@townofAurora.com if you want to, and see what we can do moving forward. But thank you for addressing those issues. I didn't know it was such a close group out there. I think we're gonna have to go to see some parties out there. We're gonna have to stop by. Yeah.
Okay, so if going on to the next agenda item, we're still on Blakely Road. And we're at Center in Blakely again. We were here last year. We called the county out. They did a study. They said it didn't pass their criteria to do a four-way stop. We've been asked to do it again. And there's been several more accidents, so we're going to send a resolution into the county to have them study that again. Is there anybody from Blakely and Center here? No? Okay. Any comments?
All for it.
Okay. Next, we have the appointment of Aurora Climate Smart Community Task Force members. And Luke, do you want to talk about this? I think you.
Yeah, so we spoke previously that there are appointed members, but there were issues with someone lives in the town of Elma. Some were referred to as just the high school students. So one request was to get the names of the people who will be appointed. The other request was to appoint to the end of the year, so that at the next reorg, we would be able to appoint on a system of different years, so it could catch up with all the other committees. So that would mean that we'd have a 1 year, one 6-year term, 1 5-year term, 1 4-year, 3-year, 2 2-years, and 1 1-year term. That would allow the high school system to work, where we're appointing a junior each year for a 2-year term. And then there would be 1 new appointment each year at the reorg. But at this reorg, we would be appointing all of them. And then we're on.
Who are you appointing?
Well, this is the appointment until December 31st, 2023.
Okay.
Sharon Bachman is at Cornell,
Right.
you know her. Gene Biter is on the planning board as well. Steve Biella has been in here. Lori Borowiak works for NYSERDA. Pat Lally is a high school student. Claudia Newton and Susan Russell are in ACES and very involved. And Annika Safford helped with the biking event this year.
So we're just gonna appoint to the end of the year now, and then you guys will do the reorg.
Yeah, but in this, we also set that we will then do appointments for those different terms.
Everyone good?
Yes.
Yep. Next, the lacrosse temporary use permit, and by the email that we received today, it looks like they have withdrawn their request, so we can take that off the agenda. Yep. Is there anything else from the board for the work session before we move on to the regular meeting? Nope. No items?
No. Especially when there's a Bills game, it's
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, then we will start our regular meeting. And number one, public hearings, we have none. Number two, we need a motion to approve the minutes of the August 28th, 2023 meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Joe,
Second.
second by Jim. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. And now we have audience one, and this is an opportunity to address any items that are on the agenda to the board. If you do so want to, please come up to the mic, give us your name and address. Everyone wants to go home and watch the Bills game. Okay. Unfinished business was the temporary use permit for lacrosse, and it has been withdrawn. And we'll go to new business. And we have the temporary easement with the New York State Department of Transportation, and this is on the Route 240 Boston Colon Road. Temporary occupancy determination for the highway project. And what we needed is a motion for the supervisor to, I don't think I have to sign this, do I, Martha?
Submit a letter.
Just submit a letter. Okay. A motion, to submit a letter accepting the terms of this agreement.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck,
second.
second by Luke. Any discussion
Have you seen the updated designs
of the road?
of the, yeah,
No,
Not since West Falls.
yeah.
I don't think they're completed yet.
No, I don't think so. They were just, we got to keep it on the monitor because we did, and the state said they would give the updated designs and send it to the West Falls group, so.
Just so you know,
Right.
too, this easement is the temporary easement.
Yep.
The permanent easement is by the library. And that is one that they are looking at right now. We'll be addressing that again, but they have to appraise it and actually be paying the town for that permanent easement. We had a motion. Did we vote on this? We didn't vote on this.
Not yet.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. And the public hearing, set the public hearing. Please take notice, public hearing by the town board of the town of Aurora on the 25th day of September 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Aurora Municipal Center, 575 Oakwood Avenue, East Aurora, New York, at which hearing parties and interested citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard on the adoption of the local law of the town of Aurora for the year 2023 to amend Chapter 101 of the codes of the town of Aurora by adding Article 12, volunteer firefighters, ambulance workers, real property and exemption. All interested parties are entitled to be heard upon said proposal local law at such public hearing, and copies for this proposed local law are available for review at the offices of the town clerk during normal business hours. So do we have a motion to set that public hearing?
So moved.
Motion by Luke,
Second.
second by Joe, was a tie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. And we have the same, another public
business.
hearing that same night, same time, and this is for the adoption of the local tax override. So we have a motion to set that public hearing for the same time, same place, same date.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck,
I'll second.
second by Jim. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Next, we have the intermunicipal agreement between the county and the town of Aurora. And this is for the funding for the comprehensive plan, which is a grant of $54,000 with a $6,000 match from the town of Aurora. And again, thanks to the board for aggressively going after this. And thanks to Dan Castle, who really did a lot of work for us to get this too. Do you need me to read the resolution, or? Then I need a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign this agreement.
So moved.
Motion by Joe,
Second,
second by Luke. Any discussion?
Just a quick comment, Councilman McCann and myself were speaking earlier about this, and just kind of an overview is, as I understand it, we will be requesting a RFP from engineers to do this comprehensive plan, and we'll be working with them, someone from the board, representative from the board, Councilman McCann and myself kind of volunteered for that, if anybody else would like to step in on that. And we will be reporting to the county on a quarterly basis, was it? Yeah, on a quarterly basis.
Yeah, my understanding is the engineering firm that we retain after the RFP process will kind of give us our tasks, give us our benchmarks that we have to meet along the way. So,
Yeah.
and then it'll be a matter of getting community input.
And if this quote comes in more than we anticipate, we'll handle that at that time.
It's not
Decide which way to
anticipated, but
go.
you never know, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, we should be good.
We'll decide.
Yeah.
How to
I,
handle it.
I think in the process as well, there's an appointment of a committee, town committee. I think Jim, actually, you were on the last one, right?
Yeah.
Of committee members that we would appoint to help assist work on the plan.
I think that's what
On
Chuck
the
was.
comprehensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like-
Yeah.
Yep.
So that they would take the bulk, and I think the entire town board is gonna have to, whoever that's, I don't know.
Because
I'd
you're
work
gonna
on it
want
if I'm
some
here,
help
but
from the
yeah,
planning board, zoning board.
the planning board, yeah, would be a part, and probably have
No,
the
you
chair of the planning board appointed to that, the chair of the
Yeah.
ZBA.
Yeah, Castle's gonna write
Yeah.
that.
So
It's a long process.
it's a long process.
Yeah.
But it's important.
It is. It's something that needs to be done every 20 years or so. Okay. So I had a motion, I had a second, right? Yep. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. And next we have the Blakely Road TE9 study. And this is Blakely Road east of Olean Road, up the sharp curve. Do I have a motion to approve applying for the TE9 speed study for Blakely Road?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck,
Second,
second by Joe. Any discussion?
I have a quick discussion on that.
Yeah.
That would be the, once the study is done, depending on the results of the study, we may have a resolution similar to the one for Blakely and Center Road, right? Possible.
I don't think we'll need a resolution. The county or the DOT will send us the results. And just, I don't think we have to vote on them, right? They just send the results and go ahead and change the speed.
Okay. Great, thank you.
If I go to the county, which is separate from the DOT. And when I talk to them about Blakely Road and say, hey, can you look at Blakely east of Olean? They might want a resolution from us asking what they want us to do, I think I'd like to do a site visit with them first, so they can see the problem. And then make their recommendations, then we can do the resolution,
Great, thank you, Jim.
if that makes sense. Okay, next Blakely and Center Road, and this is a resolution to four-way stop. Whereas Center Street and Blakely corners and county roads within the town of Aurora, and whereas residents of the town of Aurora have reported the intersection of Center and Blakely corners poses a risk to drivers in the area, and have requested the town investigate possible options for improving traffic safety in and around the intersection, including the placement of an all-way stop sign followed or all-way stop traffic. Whereas multiple motor vehicle accidents have occurred at said intersections. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby requests an all-way stop traffic study by the Erie County Department of Works, Division of Highways to assess safety concerns arising the intersection of Center Street and Blakely Corners, and resolved that the Aurora Town Board directs the town clerk to submit a certified copy of this resolution to the Erie County Department of Public Works, Division of Highways. We have a motion to adopt that resolution.
So moved.
Motion by Joe,
I'll second.
second by Chuck. Any discussion?
So what is this, did we pass a similar resolution last time, or we just asked them to look at it, or are we repeating the process from a year ago? Just,
We're repeating the process
Okay.
from a year ago.
gotcha.
It got denied.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And Jim, I'm sorry I interrupted before. Wasn't quite sure on 5E. I would make a motion that we authorize the TE 9 speed study. I thought it might have been made, but we might not have voted on that.
The TE9 for Blakely Road?
Right,
Yeah, we just voted.
We skipped the vote. We discussed, but we then
We
moved
discussed
on.
We did vote it?
right.
Yeah.
That was me.
See what happens when you want to get out of here.
Bills, make me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. We had the motions and we discussed, but we just never did the all in favor.
Oh, okay. And then I need a motion to authorize a TE9 speed study for Blakely east of Olean.
I will move on that one.
Okay, and that was Jim's motion.
Second.
Second, Joe. Any discussion?
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
I think we have the hanging motion out there the first time we did the motion.
Yeah.
Martha, you usually jump on that for me here.
You have to do everything, okay? Keep that bills on our mind too.
All right.
All right.
Next, we have the motion to approve the appointment of the Aurora Climate Smart Community Task Force members. Do I have and terms? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Luke,
I'll second.
second by Jim. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Next, H is a senior citizen donation. I'm asking the town board to accept a donation of $50 from the East Aurora Farmers Market. I'd like the money to be placed in our TA 1000.90 line. I have a motion to accept that donation.
So moved.
Motion by Joe,
I'll second.
second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Next, we have a request from Kathleen Moffett. This is a budget amendment for Auctions International Results. To request to amend the budget to record the receipt of funds resulting from the previously approved auction of highway truck and liftgate. The amendment is as follows: increase revenue line DB 2665. Sale of scrap and property by $24,425. And increase appropriation line DB 5130.217, equipment purchase by $24,425. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Motion by Jim,
I'll second.
second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Next, we have another public hearing. And this will be Tuesday, October 10th, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the Aurora Municipal Center, 575 Oakwood Avenue, East Aurora, regarding the use of federal community development funds in the town of Aurora. Town of Aurora is eligible for federal community development grants under Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. Proposed of the hearing is the purpose of the hearing is to provide an opportunity for citizens to express the community development and housing needs and discuss possible projects which would benefit low and moderate income persons in the town of Aurora. Citizens are urged to attend this meeting to make known their views and written proposals of the town of Aurora's selection of potential projects to be submitted by the possible funding of the federal community development grant program. The hearing will also present a review of prior community development projects and expenditures and discussion of eligible activities. The meeting room is wheelchair accessible. Nothing, those needing special arrangements should call the town clerk. Do I have a motion to set this public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck,
Second.
second by Joe. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Next, we have a couple of new programs for rec, and Megan is here. Do you want to come up and talk to us about those, Megan? Because I'm sure you had some thoughts on those.
The Monster Mash Bash. So I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do in the fall. We're kind of, we're so crazy in the summer, and last year I was thinking about it. I'm like, I wanted to do something a little bit more in the fall to offer something for our kids. So I'd like to have a dance at the senior center. Kathy Ores is going to be working with me. She's got all sorts of fun Halloween decorations, so I don't have to go too crazy with that. Kids are going to be ages 5 to 10. One adult has to be with them. We'll have a costume contest and dancing and just have some fun.
And then what about the watercolor program?
So this is Audrey Parker.
Are we going to be accepting all types of monsters, or are we limiting to a certain type of
I
monsters?
think
to
any kind of
dance?
monster would be acceptable.
All monsters will be accepted, yeah?
Not too scary though.
That's,
That's your invitation, Luke.
And is there any type of, the people who want to attend, is there any type of fee or admission or
It's
sales
$35 to cover the whole, for a couple.
per couple?
Yeah, so adult and child, yep.
Okay, thank you.
It's not really a couple, but.
What about one adult and multiple children?
No.
Doesn't work yet.
No.
One per,
The-
1-to-1 ratio?
Yes.
Gotcha.
It would- Yes.
what if I went, what if I went with Joe?
Well.
We could easily classify one of us as,
Let's leave this alone.
No, they need one adult. They need
That's what we're missing.
I'll go. Very nice.
So you're gonna talk to us about the watercolor?
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. So I'm a local artist. I grew up here. I moved away to go to college in Colorado in 2017. I graduated in 2019. Moved around a bit. I moved back here in 22 to have my son. And I have over 10 years experience painting. I focus more on portraits and figures. I heard that they had cut the art program at the middle school in town. Fifth graders now don't really have an art class or any arts education, and I was really moved by that. I wanted to start like an after school program. I looked around at a couple different community centers and got directed towards Megan, who directed me to do this program. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Very good. Great, thank you. No, I don't. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the Halloween dance and the watercolor program.
so moved.
By Luke,
Second.
second by Jim. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Next, we have communication and reports. We have the August 2023 town clerk, dog control work requisitions, building department, recreation director, which July and August, East Aurora Police, July, and the supervisor's August 2023 report. Next, we got business from the board members, and I'll start with Luke.
Really my story for tonight starts on a dirt road in Colden many years ago. Growing up there was pertinent to what it is I want to talk to you about tonight. So
Was it a John Deere? John Deere or a? Yeah.
Nice.
no, on Wednesday, we have the Empire State Development, 2 representatives coming out who are on the application committee for the New York Forward Grant. They will be touring West Falls from 1 to 4 if anyone would like to join us. We have a schedule that our planning board chair put together that I have not sent out yet, but we'll do today. And thanks to Doug for all the work and the interviews. It's shaping up. It's a ton of work. It's kind of a crazy time now with that, but we'll get something together that should be very competitive. We start at 1 o'clock at the West Falls Center for the Arts, where they're going to see the Memory Cafe for Alzheimer's patients. And they'll talk about how many lunches they've served and all the programs. And then we go from there and we'll end up at the Blueberry Treehouse Farm. So it will be a busy day. And then we've got to put all of it together by the end of the month. Second thing is the Code Red. We did a lot of public hearings. Is there anything that we would need to announce on Code Red of the public hearings from tonight? They don't think they rise to the level, but just.
I don't think Code Red should.
In regards to,
Just sending out about public hearings. So we set several public hearings, but I don't think. I
They
don't think
go on
there's
the
one.
website, they go, I don't think that's the use for Code Red myself.
Oh, well, we've done it in the past.
I
Yeah.
know.
Our
I don't-
policy.
I mean, it's my personal opinion. I
Yeah.
don't think it's-
Well, we set the policy, so. And then, I know there's a ZBA coming up. The golf has caused a lot of online banter.
Yeah, it's not on our agenda tonight. We still,
Is it still, it's up for the planning board though, right? Still, or
I'm
the
sorry?
planning board next, or did they already review it?
There.
They already reviewed
Peer
it.
review last week.
So we probably should, yeah, we may want to consider geo-targeting that area over there to talk about it. Because there's been a lot of bad comments and good comments, all sorts of comments about that project. So I don't know if there's anything else that we would want to post about.
that it?
Yeah.
Okay, Chuck?
just want to mention that Supervisor Balk and myself have met with the Association of Towns and also our accountants, Drescher and Malecki, to discuss this year's budget and challenges that it is having with the reduction in the mortgage tax. But everybody's feeling that, you know, you could, in the Association of Towns, everyone's discussion was, that was the primary discussion. But I'm sure we'll get through it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep, and actually I have a question for Chuck on that. Do you know what the percentage that Aurora receives? Like, are we at, you know, of the county property tax sales? Is it dependent upon what's sold in Aurora, or is it countywide where typically we'll get 1%, 2.5% based on our population? Do you know what that is? If not, I want to look it up because I just, you know, it's a
Jim,
big
I read
number.
that, but I don't dare say what I think I read.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Would know, but I think it is.
On the record.
That is a wonderful quote for the paper. Don't dare say what I think I read.
Okay, all right.
Kathleen would know the exact answer.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And I think that I don't know, I'll call it the biggest thing in the town right now, I think, is that Wednesday in West Falls. That's a big chunk of money. There's a lot of people that are in West Falls that are excited. At the Center for the Arts, we're excited about it. We're prepared. We're ready to go. We have programs that stretch throughout Erie County and into Niagara County. And right now, outside of paying our executive, you know, officer, everything goes to all the different charities, the different work that we do. Our veterans program is starting next month. If you want to learn how to play guitar, you want to learn how to play an instrument, we'll give you the instrument. It's a group lesson. So it's kind of a nice bonding. And I've worked with Jim Suttle over at the Legion. He's helpful to us in getting some members and getting some parties over there. But I think Wednesday I'll be there. We're excited. Appreciate putting it together. Everybody on the team that's helped put that together. It's exciting, and we'll put our best foot forward.
You do great work there.
I remember the code red. So Dave wanted me to talk about Borderland, sending it to people on Knox and around there.
That would make
That
sense.
the road is closed.
I'm sure they know it, but it's a
Right.
good use of it.
So we'll do that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what I would envision it to be used for.
All right.
So,
It just, we all got the email, but I'll attend. I'm going to attend that event for the ambulances. We're going to explain a little bit about the county ambulances coming out to serve the South Towns, and due to some diligence, we're going to be housed in Aurora. So I think that's a great thing. We've talked about it before, but now we're going to learn a little bit more at a meeting at the Colden Fire Hall. I'll be there. I know the invitation went out to others as well. Hopefully as many people as possible can make it.
that's Wednesday or Thursday?
It's the 21st. I just looked at my phone. It's the 21st, which is a Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Did you guys say Wednesday before?
I did not.
Talk about
Wednesday is when the site visited West Falls, not the.
Wednesday's the site.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And a week from Thursday is the ambulance thing. Yeah. And that's all I have. Go Bills.
We don't sleep, Jim. Every day.
All right, the only thing I got is budget is going along very well. Again, it looks like we're going to be under the tax cap with moderate increases in the A fund. We'll have a presentation when we get closer, but I want to thank the board for working with us on this. It's every budget going forward seems to be more challenging every year, but we get through them. So, and also I just want to announce we have a birthday boy in the audience tonight. Happy birthday, Shane. I didn't sing, okay? I could sing. All right, next audience. Anybody want to talk to us from the audience at all? Nobody?
Nope.
Right,
So
nobody? Nobody? Okay, Brad, come on up. Come on up, go. We gotta have you on mic.
Report, since it's such a light agenda and with the board approval, I'd like to go over line by line the budget expenditures from January 1 to year to date.
Denied.
We're
We're
gonna
going
take
over
a
to
5
Joe's house to do that.
We're gonna take a 5-minute break and then you go in the other room and we'll meet you there.
Yeah. We're gonna need Shane for that one.
I think it'd be very interesting if we did that. So please, yeah.
You feel that way about it, I'll
Residents stymied at town board.
Is there anybody else? Okay,
Boys.
staff reports. Rod? You have any staff reports? Doug?
Never speak again.
Well, and let you guys know. For recommendations. We have a by year end. But that's when we're talking to the years ago.
I have a letter in my office someone sent me if you want that. Yep. 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 Yeah. Sounds good. Shane?
The only thing I'd add regarding Blakely and Center, when you speak to the engineer, regarding that or another matter to bring this up. I truly believe the dip north of Blakely Road is the issue. I haven't had time to do a study on it, but looking at past accidents that I'm familiar with and have seen reports on, a lot of them have to do with cars traveling south on Center and east on Blakely. And I think because of the visibility of the vegetation at the residence on the corner, as they pull up, they don't wait that extra second looking to the north and the car's in the dip. And they look right over it and they pull out. If the county could look at that, that would be great. I think that would be more useful than a stop sign.
They said they cut down some vegetation.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's they get up to the stop sign and you really can't see until you get up to the stop sign. And then if the car happens to be in that dip, they'll look right over the top of it. And then by the time they pull out, they meet.
What would your recommendation
Center
be?
Street?
Either try to lower the hill from Blakely north to the dip or raise that dip up or it would take some construction, which the county doesn't like doing. But I think that's possibly more of the cause of the accidents than anything else. Obviously, it's driver error by not taking an extra second to look, but
A stop sign would probably help too, you'd think, if those people coming south on Center. Plus,
there is
them
so
down a
much
little.
traffic on that street, you know what issues that's gonna
Try get a call.
cause.
I think so.
Every study says stop signs are not traffic calming and people will not see the purpose to them and will not hold them in much regard. And then I'm going to be tied up sitting there all the time with the officers when I could be on East Blakely Road.
So are you suggesting a traffic circle?
No, I'm suggesting they look at that dip first, if there's something they could do.
Yeah, is it, it's a dip on, is it a dip on Center?
It's on Center,
On
north of Blakely. If you go up Mill to Blakely
Yeah, I go
and
all the
head
time.
towards
I
Center.
never go on Blakely, so I don't even know.
Yeah, if you go just come up to that stop sign at Center You can't see until you're stopped up there. And that dip's pretty deep. I mean, if you're paying attention, you'll see a car in it.
Yeah.
But if you're not paying attention and you just glimpse, it's the same reason why motorcycles get pulled out of. Because people, they're not big enough for people to recognize them and take the time to look.
This car's trailing.
I don't think the alcohol helps.
That way.
Well,
No matter what you do there.
of any
Yeah.
DWI accidents,
Yeah.
because you're never going to be able to prevent all those. So.
All right. Anything else? Why are you here tonight? It's your birthday.
Because I won't be here in 2 weeks.
Well, Megan, is there anything from the rec? How about Rich from the building department?
Nothing to report.
Okay, all right. All right. Then we need a motion to approve the abstract.
So moved.
Motion by Jim,
I'll second.
second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Joe,
Second.
second by Jim. Any discussion?
Go Bills.
I think we should discuss the motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?